Yo, yo, yo. Make sure everything couple steady. What's up with y'all, man? Let me get right real quick. Yes, sir. All right, this episode is Life After the Game. This is the OG podcast. As you can see, this is a nice little father's gift I got from my kids. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we here to talk to Jermicheal Mitchell, one of the someone I look at as an organizer, a renaissance man, a jack of all trades. You know what I mean? I knew him through the game of basketball. That's how I met him. You know what I mean? I had him as a coach at one point, playing Tri County every year. You know what I'm saying? So talking to him and seeing what he's been doing since I was a kid, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a big step to me because like it's telling you that the sport that you play, the sport that you love, you know what I'm saying? You can always be a part of that. You can be always linked to it. You know, some of us always think we need to go to the league or we need to go here, we need to go there to do something and be effective in our community. And that's the whole point of this podcast is to show y'all that, you know what I'm saying, you can be the person that working 9 to 5, you can be the person that's still out here grinding, doing what you got to do, but at the same time helping your community. You ain't gotta have that big NBA check to go do something in your community or go here, go there to touch people, touch these kids, to talk to these kids. You know what I'm saying? That's all this podcast is about, touch the people that's younger than me, you know what I'm saying? Maybe people my age, give me some game at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it is about, offering game. You know what I mean? Reach one, teach one. You know what I'm saying? I heard that from Young Thug, you know what I'm saying? Like, and for him to be a youngin', and I heard it when he was a youngin', for him to say that, you got to reach one, teach one. I feel like that's what's really important we need to get to in our black community. So, you know what I mean? Further, you know what I mean, I'm going to go ahead and add them on in. What's going on?
Mark, what's good, man? How you doing?
Hey, nothing, man. I'm cool, man. First, I want to say I appreciate you coming through. You know what I mean? Sliding on us. You know what I mean? For this game we about to see. Every time I sit down and talk to you, whether it's we at the kids' soccer game, I see you at a barbecue, see you running around. Period. You know what I'm saying? Even the little talks, man. You give me game, and that's something I wanted to put on this platform, man. You know what I'm saying? So first, let these people know where you come from. You know what I'm saying? If they don't know you, pretty much everybody know everybody. We on the Eastern Shore, but they been living
Right.
under a rock, man. Let them know what you got going on.
My name is Jermicheal Mitchell. I'm from the city of Salisbury. We do different things across the Eastern Shore, though. We've been working for a few years now, man. You know, I've been actually coaching basketball since I was a kid. So I've been involved with basketball since I was like 17 years old. As you said, I started off coaching with Tri County All Stars. And then from there, man, we developed some different programs in the community through basketball and through some, life and self empowerment things as well, to just try to empower the youth in our community.
Facts, and that's what we need. One thing I can say about Salisbury, man, like regardless of where everything negative, positive, like whatever y'all got going on, like y'all got a lot of programs for these kids, like whether it's basketball, football, you know what I mean, anything, like y'all got gyms open up for these kids, man. And like people think it's all about the game, but it's always more than the game. I learned so many lessons playing basketball, like you know what I'm saying, lessons that I carry on every day, you know what I'm saying, even in the workforce, wherever I'm at, you know what I mean, I carry these lessons with me. So you know what I mean? The title of this episode, you know what I mean, is Life After the Games. So you was a part of a dynasty. We could say dynasty, you know what I'm saying, a powerhouse school, you know what I'm saying? And when you was in school, man, y'all was straight, y'all was nasty, man. That's all I heard about was, you know what I'm saying, especially when I was starting to play around in Salisbury, I'm going to Tri-County, you know what I mean? You my coach, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, who this cat? Like, man, that nigga, you know what I mean? Bop, bop, bop. Like, their team was this, that. You know what I'm saying? So talk about growing up in Salisbury, all the way up getting into high school and playing basketball.
Well, growing up in Salisbury, of course, man, you know, typical male story. I come from a single mother. Sports is where I found mentors or people who were involved in my life who taught me the skills that I felt I needed to be a man, basically. I had a lot of
Right.
basketball coaches and things of that nature. Coming from a single mother again, man, you just needed that structure. I started playing basketball with the fellas, Greg Brown, Craig Winder, Ron, Kyle, Darnell. We probably all started playing basketball at the Salvation Army against each other. Then I want to say probably like our cadets in junior years, we were on all-star teams together that back then they traveled. They went to different
Right.
towns to play basketball. But we all grew up together, man. Like we used to ride bikes, five of us together, somebody on the handlebars sometimes just to go hoop in different areas. And that's what kind of sharpened our skills. We knew each other. It was like
Right.
very, very, chemistry oriented. We knew who could do what, where, and we always made sure we got people in the right position to be successful, even at a young age. So, and then again, man, that men's bump. We got Lake Street Park here, and they used to have a men's league at Lake Street Park, man. And we started hooping in the men's league when we were like 14, 15 years old.
Right.
Big up to Hall and Darian Collins and Victor Jackson, RIP. These dudes allowed us to be on their basketball teams. And when they allowed us to be on their basketball teams, man, at that young age, we were able to get a different type of bump. And I really think that's what prepared us for high school. We all ended up going to Y High, and we won the state championship. We went to the state title twice, lost by 2 my junior year to Dunbar. Then, of course, you know the story, man. We had Craig transfer in our senior year, and we won by 20 our senior year against a very good school from across the bridge.
Right. So with all that, you know what I'm saying, was Salisbury still solid like the Salisbury it is now?
Yeah,
Salisbury
yeah.
always
I mean,
been
Salisbury
Salisbury.
has always it's always been what it is.
Right.
You had your streets, you had your basketball, you had your other sports that people were involved in. But it's always been the same. Of course, technology and
Right. Right.
music and things at that time that changed. But Salisbury has always been the same type of place that it is now, man. There's some growth in the city. Don't get me twisted. Politically, we do have a few more things. There's a few more programs and a few more centers and things like that that may be open now than before. Because back then, we really just had the Salvation Army.
Right.
That was all we really had. You had a few churches that would allow you to come in if they had basketball courts in their churches. But back then, man, we just had the Salvation Army, and we were very close knit. So a lot of us come from single mothers, but those single mothers would allow us to stay at each other's house on the
Right.
weekends or all the time, man. So we were always together, man. That's how we built our brotherhood. But you had to, I had to disconnect. Well, not even a disconnect. I had the connection of I had street friends from one neighborhood that I lived in, and I had my basketball friends from another neighborhood that I would be in as well. So that was always just a double-edged sword for me, but it worked out. Like I said, it made me the man who I am today.
Right. And then with that being said, when you say your street friends, like one thing I know about you that I put in mind, I even put in mind, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be me at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I might have friends that say, I got friends that's locked up, I got friends that's dead, RIP, you feel me? I got friends that's really doing good, I got friends that made it somewhere with sports, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, uh, I never changed who I was, and everybody know what I stand for, know what it is, know what I'm with, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of your peers feel the same way, cause man, listen, I I only see Jermicheal now. You know what I mean? I see the Jermicheal Mitchell now from when I was a kid to now. I don't know about if back in the day. You know what I'm saying? You might have had a little wild streak, like what you know what I mean. Most of us do, cause we kids. But man, I see nothing but what you do for your community and how you push people. And my nickname for you always been the Mayor of Salisbury. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I
Yeah.
look at it. You feel me? Like the Mayor of Salisbury. So as far all right, so you in high school. I mean, you doing what you doing. Y'all 26 and 0. Y'all played 26 games.
Yeah,
Oh,
we were 26-0. 26-0, made it to the States semifinal game. We played against I want to say we played against North Hagerstown. I want to say it was.
mm-hmm,
Very good school. They had a couple of dudes on there that was being recruited to go to college as well. And we end up in a good tough matchup against them. And then I want to say it was like I can't remember. I want to say it was Central, a school called Central from across the bridge that we played in the state title. But
mm-hmm.
we were picked in the newspaper. We were picked as like 20-point underdogs. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? So
man,
that was one of the biggest things to us. From the Eastern Shore, we had an
yeah,
undefeated record. People were like, "Oh, they didn't play nobody on the shore." This, that, and the third. And you know, each year our regional championship games were amazing. We played Aberdeen We played Edgewood, so we were playing against those schools back then even. And we just pulled together, man. We really pulled together and made some amazing things happen, man. And the rest was history. We ended up winning. It was Butch Waller's first state title, and things from there just sprouted into us doing other things through basketball in the community.
Right. So that's what gave me to the point to what the real episode is about is life after the game. So, you know, again, you're in high school. Like I said, high school, like you nothing in freshman year, you're nobody, small ball. You get to you by the time you're senior year, you the man. After you graduate, you ain't nobody again because everybody, you know what I'm saying, you're in the same circle. So how did coming off of that, like playing basketball, people screaming your name, you the popular person, everybody looking at you too. Excuse me, you don't got them same people screaming your name like that now. It's like everyday life now. Like, how did
Right.
you take that transition?
So I actually got immediately got into again coaching. That was my way of giving back. So me and Bubby had started off in Kappa League. Started off with Tri County. We did Kappa League. And we just tried to, of course, we had little brothers that was coming through Waha. Like my whole family graduated really from Waha, played
Right,
sports at Waha. So we had both had, Bubby had AJ, I had my brother Jaron, and they were both coming through Waha. So we actually were able to go back and help coach with Butch,
right,
which was a great experience as well back then, man. But I made the decision not to go to college personally. Even though my friends went to college, went on to play basketball and things of that nature, I got more involved and active in my community. And it was one of those things where you grow up single mother again, but you grow up to try to become what you need, right? Like
right,
that's one of the biggest things. I felt like I was a good young man. I came from wasn't a bad situation. My mother did what she needed to do, um, but I came from a neighborhood where it's usually statistically, you go to jail, you die, you know what I'm saying, or again you go to prison
right,
for a very long time. So those were usually the statistics of most of the people who came from the neighborhood that I came from. But I saw needs. I saw things that, I worked for juvenile services. I was actually in corrections. That was my career path. I was starting to get into corrections, but I ended up in juvenile services. And what I saw when I was in juvenile services, me, Bubby, and Craig actually, because we created Kids Rock throughout that, um, was a revolving door. You seen young men who had great talent, who had great skills, who just needed that extra push. But because of where they came from or what they were involved in, it seemed like they kept getting in trouble with the system. They kept getting in trouble. And this was at a young age. So we
right,
try to use basketball to, basically put skills into these kids other than just basketball skills, life skills. Try to teach them some things about how to be a young man, how to carry themselves, mock interviews, and all of those other things. So it was just an opportunity to use basketball, something we were good at, something that we were known for, like you said, and taking that opportunity and using it to promote other things in our community.
And that program, people don't know about it. I want to say it was called Kids Rock,
Yeah,
right? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it was you, Bubby, and Craig. It was
yeah,
y'all
before
three.
it
You know what
started,
I'm
yeah.
saying? And like you said, those three names. I'm from Berlin, Maryland. You know what I'm saying? Even though it ain't that far, but I know the history. Like there was some dogs you just named. You know what I'm saying? And so when them kids see y'all, the kids really want to go gravitate to y'all. And for you to know that you had that leadership or that power, I call that a superpower. For you to know that you had that superpower so early, and you attacked that, man, like you was already one with yourself, and you don't get a lot of people like that. 17 years old, like man, I ain't going to college, but at the same time, I'm gonna do this and that in my community. I'm gonna do this. Like you could have very easily went the other route, like you know what I'm saying. Like I say, you in the Bay. I mean, Salisbury and whatnot in the third. I know you have friends doubling, dabbling, whatnot in the third, whatever. But you could have easily went that route. But for you to go the other way, you know what I'm saying, without even being the church man, the statistic church man that we see, like you know what I mean. I ain't trying to be like that square. Nah, like you would tell us stuff, I'm listening to you because like this nigga like me for real. Like, how you a coach? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that was my whole joke to all them. Like, yo, how this cat a coach, man? This nigga probably like 25. You know what I mean? Like, just joking, but you know what I mean? At the same time, like you put us on game and like, you know what I'm saying? I don't really remember too much. I just remember practices for real. Like you talking to us, you know what I mean? Practices, practices, practices. Like that's all I really remember. Like when it comes to me in basketball, like I got different. Like I think about the game, what I did in the game, what my man did. You know what I mean? I don't really think about too much, but as far as a coach, like I'll never forget you as a coach because obviously you put some drop some jewels. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what makes a good coach. People that see you years later, they're gonna still call you Coach J. You know what I
Right.
mean? You probably still got kids that do that. You know what I mean? They probably grown ass men now. They still gonna call you Coach, and that should be something to feel something a special feeling to you for somebody to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I little league, I coach a little league. Kids call me coach, whatnot, and the third coach MD. You know what I mean? I'll be feeling hype like I'm an NCAA coach. You heard me? But you know what I'm saying? Like it's all about giving back to the kids. So going past kids route, what's any other programs that you got going on even to this day right now?
Well, we started several other programs. Like I said, we didn't want it to just be about males, if that makes
Right,
sense. You know, your community includes females as well. So you know, I've had such a great support system with people from my community who kind of sort of think like me. So we've started several other programs over the years that I've been involved with. Um, we partnered with some groups from the north. I had another organization called Extraordinary League of Gentlemen, who some people in my area were a part of. We did college tours. We did boys seminars for 4 years at different colleges on the Eastern Shore. We went to the CIAA 3 years in a row, taking kids on college tours, 3 to 4 years in a row, taking kids away from here on college tours. We've done a prison and gang seminar. Um, I started a Lions Club that I was involved with and was a part of. Um, we've just done a lot, man. We wanted to use all avenues and resources to give back to our community, to get people to understand like you don't have to leave your community to be successful, right? Like you
right,
don't have to move far away. If you see an issue or you see a problem, one of the biggest things is one, use your voice to stand up for what you believe in, and two, get out here and make something happen, right? Don't sit there and complain about it and not try to find a solution to the problem. I think that's a big issue, no matter whether you agree with people's mindsets and some of the things that they believe. If you see an issue in your community, one of the biggest things is trying to solve that issue because, again, when you have kids who are growing up in that community, you don't want them to go through the same things that you see, right? Like we can't
right,
stop everything, but we can definitely use our voices, use our platforms to try to push a positive narrative and not be statistically what society says about us, right? You know,
right,
and again, we're not knocking nobody. Everybody has their own path. So we're not knocking nobody who chose the streets. We're not knocking nobody who any of those things. Everybody matures at a certain level, right? So you
right.
just keep praying for those people. You keep those people in your thoughts. You keep talking to those people, and as you continue to grow, you know sometimes they'll see your light shine, and they'll be able to maneuver and do some different things in the community themselves.
And even with that, like you know what I'm saying, we say that so people know that we ain't trying like I don't know what the world going on. We ain't trying to poke fun at nobody. We ain't trying to talk about nobody when it comes to the street stuff. But it's like it's real people out here that's in the streets for a reason. Reason why they're in the streets, like they didn't have no choice. You know what I'm saying? A
Most
lot of
definitely.
kids growing up now, they got the choice, and like you jumping in, you don't know what you jumping into. You know what I mean? I think that's a big difference. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So it's like you can hear me. You can hear me good.
Yeah,
Sound like
yeah,
it's
yeah. I can
staticking.
hear you.
All right,
It's a
all
little
right, all right.
staticky, but I can hear you.
Yeah, like I don't know what's going on, but yeah. So like that's what we talking to the kids that's in the streets. They ain't got to be in the streets. The ones that got your mommy and daddy there, and they try and make a way for you. Like you don't have to jump out here just because your friends or you seen somebody do this and that or the music you listening to, man. Like it's different ways, different avenues, different ways to get what you got to get and get that money that you want, or just to be successful. You know what I'm saying? And then these programs just showing y'all to take a different route, man. You got people in your neighborhood, in your county, in the state of Maryland, regardless. You know what I'm saying? It's doing it. You know what I mean? Without all the extra stuff. And that's all it's really about, man. Is getting to where you got to do and attack that. So with your coaching, right? You coached at Parkside. You said Y
Yeah,
High. You coached at
I coached at
Parkside.
I started off again at Y High. Then I got a coaching job at Y Middle. I coached middle school basketball for a few years actually. Then I got the JV job at Parkside. I was there for a few years. Then I took a little hiatus, and then I came back and I was the coach at Mardella for a year. You know, we kind of um, had a great year, won coach of the year at Mardella. Then for the past couple of years, I've been at the Salisbury School, which is a private school here in the community. And I've been coaching there. I got coach of the year my first year while I was there as well. And just, you know, I'm still there as of right now.
That's what's up, man. So As a coach, what's your coaching style? What can we say your coaching style is?
Man, I think you gotta, as a coach, man, I wouldn't say I have a style, if that makes sense. If I can run it, fast break system, I try my best. I like to keep the ball moving.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta learn as a coach to adapt your style to the kids that you have, right? So if you
Right.
don't got a fast break team, you can't run a fast break system. There's no need to put kids in a situation where they're not going to be successful. So I always go into the season evaluating my talent, evaluating my players, and see what roles people need to play, and then I put my system to that. Like my plays are basic, so I kind of maybe run the same plays, but whether I run a slow down system or a fast break system, that all depends on the talent that I have and the speed that I have on my team. So it's just that evaluation, man. As a coach, man, you always got to be able to bend, but not break. So you can stick to your guns, but you got to make that mold to fit the players and the talent that you have on your team at the time.
And there's a lot of coaches that need to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Because they chop. Can like just speaking of experience of the coaches I've been through, man. I done had coaches that you talking to high school kids like they in college, like you just gonna give them the information. They're just gonna take that and do what you said do. Like it's more patience than that, man. Like so. Like how did you develop that patience for kids though? Like, 'cause you got like you deal with a
Um,
lot of kids, man.
I would say, man, my years at juvenile services, right? Like,
Right,
and even coaching in the community, like I said, man, we always had younger guys around us because when we went and hooped, a lot of the younger guys that we hung with, they went and hooped with us. So it was always teaching the game, right? Like if you got somebody younger on the court with you, you trying to teach them the game as y'all playing together.
right,
So we always had those coaches mentalities, man. Basketball, it wasn't. I say basketball has changed and it has transitioned, and there's nothing wrong with the transition. It's now a lot more about 3-point shooting, right? Like a lot more
right.
about the tray ball. Whereas when we played, man, it was more about getting up and down the court, hitting the open shot, but it was more or less getting up and down the court and playing great defense. So it's one of those things where you have to truly, you know, figure it out. And patience, man, is a virtue. Like a kid can't do, like you said, you can't just tell a kid to do something. Some kids are talented enough. You can tell them to do it, they can go do it. And then
Right,
other kids need repetition, right? Like a lot of people didn't hop on their bike the first time and just start riding, right? You had to
right. You
fall a
have
couple
fall
times.
off a couple times, yeah.
You ain't learned how to tie your shoe the very first time. Took you a couple reps before you
Mm-hmm.
got it. So I'm a firm believer in making sure that you continue to put the reps in. As long as you're putting the reps in, you'll get it eventually. I've seen that. As long as you keep putting the reps in, eventually you'll get what the coach is trying to tell you. So it's just that, man. It's all about that. Fixing the car, anything that you do in life, it takes time. It takes patience. Occasionally you get lucky and it happens instantly, but we don't live in a microwave society. Things take time.
Right.
It's not instant.
Even though they try to make it a microwave society, you know what I'm saying? We don't live in that at all. Like,
Well,
you know what I'm
that
saying?
comes from social media, man. You got a lot of people that they pop on TikTok, they pop on YouTube, they pop on these different
Mm-hmm.
things, and they become that rags to riches story. And again, not knocking that. That's a great, wonderful opportunity for those who can do that. But everybody's life can't be instant like that. Everybody's life
At all.
can't just pop like that. It takes time. It takes strategic planning. It takes not giving up because you're gonna hit some hurdles. You're gonna hit some hard times. You just got to make sure you keep pushing forward and stay focused on what your dreams are.
And I'm pretty sure that's a message you get to the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like that. One thing I'll be saying, like, don't be a dream killer. Like, if you're a kid into something, hype them up. You know what I'm saying? But be realistic, but hype them up. Like, I tell my daughter all the time, like, man, you can go where you want to go, but you got to work at it. Like, you going to have your friends, they going to want to play ball. They going to want to do this, do that. Like, what you going to want to do? You going to want to go in there, jump, put that extra hours in? And that's all it's about, man. Hype them kids up. Let them know they can do it. It's obtainable. But you got to put the work in. You can't just double tap and you there. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of cats, like even with the music, like people that do music, like you see in Amigos and all them, you swiping up, swiping up. You see everybody doing their thing. You not there yet. You gotta take your time. Anything you do, you gotta take your time. You know what I'm saying? So, question I ask all the people I interview is, who's somebody that gave you game, and how did you apply it to your life on an everyday?
Man. Well, I would have to talk about a brother by the name of Khalil Shabazz. He I was 14 years old, man, And I've always been an avid reader, right? Like I've
Mm,
always liked to read. I think that's a lost art. I don't think kids like to read enough.
at all.
You've heard several rappers, you heard several people say, man, if you want to hide something from people, you put it in a book, right? Like we like I said, we instant. We go Google something, we go Wikipedia, we go get on those online sites, and we don't fact check, right? Books,
Right.
you have the facts inside of a book usually, depending on who the author was and the research and things of that nature. But it was a book entitled "Breaking the Chains of Psychological Slavery." By a brother named Naeem Akbar. He has several different books out there, but that was the book that he gave me, man. And I was 14 years old. And that book changed my life. That book had me looking at life totally different than before. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like to use the word conscious. A lot of people like to use that word, the conscious community, and woke. That's another word I really don't like to use. Woke,
At
things of that.
all.
I just feel like the more you learn about your past, the more you learn about your history, um, the deeper you dig, the more information that you can find out and you can try to apply to life, and make life-changing decisions for not only yourself but others. So that book, Breaking the Chains of Psychological Slavery, was a book, man, that truly helped change my mindset from a hood to street mentality to more of a cultural more mentality, right? Like
Right.
wanted to learn about African Americans, wanted to learn about Black, Egyptian, wanted to learn about Africa, wanted to learn about the Middle East. You know, there's so many arguments about different things, but if you know true history, you know that the Middle East wasn't even a thing. That was actually called the Northeast Africa, right? So
Right.
just learning history, man, and applying that, knowing that we come from kings and queens, and knowing that indigenous people were already in America, right? Everybody wasn't brought here in slavery. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Some people were already here. So those things. But that book really changed my life. A brother named Khalil Shabazz. He goes by a different name now, African name now, but him giving me that book at the age 14, man, is what changed my life, man, because it broadened my horizon. I ain't gonna say it woke me up. I don't want to say
Right.
that.
Right.
I
Right.
want to say that it made me start looking at things differently, from the government to society to the way we act as African American people, to the influences that we allow to influence our life. Like you said, some of these people hear music and they go out and they try to live what they hear in the music, right? Like that ain't,
Mm-hmm.
if that's you, that's cool, but that ain't for everybody. You know what I mean? That
Right.
ain't for everybody. They see the different video vixens and they see the different things of that nature. And again, I'm not telling anyone what their dreams should be to be inspired by, but at the same time, reality, right? Reality sets in, and you got to understand your demographics, where you at, who's your support system. When you start learning these things, man, you finally realize what path you should take, and you start walking that path. And again, it can change at any time, but you try to stay focused on what you do and what you do well.
Facts. And now, and that's somebody for real. I always bring back game that I got, and you know what I'm saying. A game I got from one of my homeboys. I'm gonna interview him coming up. Aaron White. You know what I'm saying. We playing against Snug Hill, man. Like he smacked me back my hair. It was like, yo, when you out here, show out, do what you supposed to do, take care of business. And like just we was in a basketball game, but just being in that basketball game, like every day, man. Like when I'm at work, I'm doing this podcast. When I used to try to do concerts, whatever I was doing, man, rapping, whatever. Man, I'm gonna come out here, I'm gonna show out, I'm gonna do my thing and leave. Like I'm gonna leave it on the floor, and I feel like, man, I get games from so many people, man. Like somebody can say something real simple to me, man. Like, hey, look both ways before you go across the street, man. That's some game. You know what I mean? I'm soaking that. Like, I gotta look both ways, man. What's going on out here? Like, besides being on the street, the actual street, like you got to watch people, watch your left, watch your right. Don't tell the other hand what the other hand doing. Like, that's real stuff, man. Like all these lessons we get from these people, man. Like it's crazy, man. Like if we early, like you said, basketball. Like I learned everything from basketball, man. And that's why I feel like a connection talking to athletes. This 5-part series, like talking to these athletes, like people that really the man. You know what I'm saying? Like what you do after you was the man. Because a lot of these kids need to know what to do after they the man. Everybody not gonna make it to the league. You know what I'm saying? You might not make it cross season. If you do, you might not play in that top tier league. Everybody's not gonna make it. Everybody's not gonna have that success story. But you still can have a success story, and that's all it is at the end of the day, man. It's like,
Yeah,
just man, pin your ears back and attack.
yeah, most definitely, man. Like you said, man. Like You know, what will your story be, and understand who controls that, right? Like, don't let society push a narrative on you and push you down a path that you really ain't for you. You know, a lot of
Right.
people do that, man. A lot of people let society mold their path and what they should be doing, and allow other people to have a lot of say in their lives, man. When in all actuality, you know, that's between you and your higher power, whatever that higher power may be. You know,
Right.
those things actually occur between y'all through your talks and your conversations, your prayers. Just push you in the right mindset to make great things happen in your life. So, like you said, you gotta grab the bull by the horns and ride it out, man. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the good, the bad, the ugly. You just gotta make sure you stay focused and keep pushing forward.
Most definitely, most definitely. So you know what I mean. Another question I want to ask you is who's somebody, since we in the sports world, who's somebody that really made you step your game up, who gave you that work, like you really was like, man, when we play them, I got to go in.
I was always so I got better after high school. Reality, right? Like
Right.
I was always a great. I knew my role. My role was to distribute the basketball to the scores and
Mm,
to play great defense. You know what I mean? That was my role in high school. Um, and that was about it for real for high school. But after high school, when you start playing in the men's leagues and you start, you know, like I said, my friends were going to college. So if I stayed around, I wanted to continue to get better. You know, I had to work on my game. And like you said, it's just
right.
that work consistently, man. Like you got to get in the gym. You gotta. So I would say a lot of people inspired me. You know what I mean? Because like you didn't want to get on the court and be that guy. You know what I mean? Nobody picks
Mm-hmm.
you up. Nobody wants you on their team. You know what I'm saying? Things
Facts.
of that nature. So I want to say that inspired no individual inspired me. It was just one of those situations where if I wanted to continue to play basketball, I had to work on my game. If I wanted to continue to play
Right.
basketball, I was short. I had to develop a better jump shot. I had to use my speed. I had to make sure I still was able to strap up and be able to play defense on whomever. So those were some of the mindsets for me as it continued to get better. But that was the same way with life. Like you said, you can apply that same thing to life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you're trying to be good at something, you gotta practice. You gotta make sure you're putting in the hours. You know, you can't just
Facts.
do it when it's game time. You can't just turn the switch on and be good. You know what I mean?
No,
You gotta
it don't
definitely
work
make sure
like
you
that.
yeah, so plus coaching, like I said, I was always in a gym regardless because I was coaching. So being
Right.
in the gym, I might stay in the gym an extra hour by myself, working on things for myself as well. And then a couple kids would stay. So while I'm training, a kid might train with me.
Right.
And I would just put that extra work in with them as well.
All right. So before we go even more, man, I gotta shout out my sponsor, man. You know
Cool,
what I
most
mean?
definitely.
Stay Good Apparel. You feel me? I got the shirt on there. We got some new, since we talking about basketball, we got some new drip coming for the basketball season. Different breed. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have them in different colors for any school. You know what I'm saying? On the front it says each season. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we on right now. We trying to push this to the schools, you know what I'm saying? Whoever see this, if you know somebody in high school, whatever, man, when basketball season start off, man, whoever blow the team out, whatever, between Snow Hill, Decatur, Waha, Bennett, whatever school, y'all first game y'all win double digits, man. I got free shirts for everybody on the team, man. Like whoever see this, you know somebody, you know what I mean, tell them something, trying to blow this up before we even get to the season. You know what I'm saying? But like there's something that's going down, that's going on, man. Different breed. It's a lot of different breeds out there. Kids getting into these gyms, y'all doing y'all thing. Like back when I was hooping, we just played basketball against the older cats. Like they really getting in the gym training now. So I feel like that's a different breed. You know what I mean? That's the whole giddy up with that. Stay good apparel. You know what I mean? Highlight my boy AB. You know what I'm saying? So back at it. You know what I'm saying? So you got basketball going on. You're a father. How's being fatherhood? How's that? Put a curve
Fatherhood,
on
man, is
everything.
one of the best things that ever happened to me, man. Really change that. Also will change your mindset. Again, not for everybody, but for some, man. You know, not having a father and then becoming a father. You know what I'm saying? You learn a lot. You learn a lot along the way. Right? There's no. I
Yeah.
mean, to each of their own, man. Each person can say they had a perfect parent in their lives, but you know, you learn
Mhm.
as you go. You know, my parents had me at a young age, so I think that also is what influenced my father's absence. You know, he was young. He really probably didn't know how to be a father himself. Not saying he didn't have his father in his life, but you know, I believe fatherhood was one of the greatest gifts because it makes you focus differently, right? Like you know it's no longer just about you. You got to put that work in and raise them babies as well. So
Facts.
I really enjoy fatherhood. You know, it's a tough thing, but you know you gotta make it work. just like anything, it's work. So as long as you're putting in that work to be a better individual each day and be a great example in front of your kids, man, that's what it's all about.
Facts, facts. That's big facts. So, you all right? I'm gonna ask you a question real quick. You got a kid out here. They don't know what they want to do as far as sport. They don't even know really how to play basketball, but
Right,
they want to make it out. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe sports might not be their thing. They might be real intelligent, real smart. Like,
right.
what's the next move? Like, what's the moves they need to make to put themselves apart out of peer pressure, stuff like that? Like,
Right. I think all adults that are around kids, man, have to start pushing something that we call a life path plan. It can have whatever name you want it. Every kid ain't going to college. That's just facts, right? So you have
right.
you have kids that are going to college. You have the career oriented kids. You have the tech kids and the trade kids. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then then you have the business kids, right? Like they're kids that they might just be good at promoting. They might be dope on social media. They maybe have a great
Right.
following. A lot of those kids should start businesses because again, as long as you have that following, you have consumers. You have people who will be willing to buy your product, right?
Fact.
So in a life path plan, you again, a kid could get involved in all 4 to 5 of those paths because you still have the military. A lot of people don't even like to push or talk about the military, but I have friends that are very successful because they went to the
Mm-hmm.
army, because they went to the navy,
Right.
because they got involved in those things, and again, that helped pay for their college, that helped them get homes, because they're veterans. So again, I'm not a person that's against that. It's to each his own, but you have to
Right.
help a kid get involved in a path or multiple paths. That way, they have several options. A big thing right now, the stocks and the Bitcoin,
Mm.
right? Like for
Yeah.
a kid or in foreign exchange, like foreign currency, kids taking American dollars, turning them into a foreign currency, trading in those markets, and then turning it back into American dollars, right? These are the things that we truly need to speak to our kids about because
Hmm.
with technology that they had today, they could do some amazing things. It doesn't always have to be about college. Now, again,
Fact.
you can always go back to college and doing those things, but I truly believe we as adults, especially in the African American community, we have to start pushing life plans. Where can you be successful? Where do you fit in? What paths can you go down to be, we know that we went through 4 years of Donald Trump, and I ain't got nothing bad or good to say about that situation. But what I will say
Right.
is techs, right? We needed way more the way they did with the foreigners coming to America and putting a halt on that. Man, it was booming for welders. It was booming for electricians. It was booming for
Mm-hmm.
HVAC people. And those trades, you can make a lot of money in getting involved in those trades, right?
Fact.
So a lot more people were being pushed towards trade because we didn't have those workers in America, and it was a great need. So it's all about finding what's best for you, man. What fits your life and where you're trying to go. And no one says that might not change in 10 years, 20 years. But at least you'll have those skills. At least you'll still have something to fall back on if your dreams don't go according to plan.
And I think that's something great to put in play because a lot of kids I talk about Will Manuel a lot, man. Like I remember one day he was on court and he was just talking to the little kid, like the little niggas, like he was just talking to him about getting bank accounts and stuff. And I'm thinking in my head, like, bro, like ain't nobody tell me about no bank account at 16, 17. Like, you know what I mean?
Most
Nobody at
definitely.
all talking about no credit. They weren't talking about nothing like that. Like,
Yeah.
if I had somebody talking to me about that, I probably would have thought more about, hey, I need to do this, I need to do that. Let me get this right. Let me get that right. Instead of waiting till I'm 25 plus to do it. You know what I'm saying? And we need more of that. Like, I feel like even with the school system, no knock on whatever. But I feel like a school system is just to prepare you to be a worker or be in jail. Somebody telling you what to do, telling you how to do it. This information we're gonna give you, and that's what
Most
you're just
definitely.
gonna do with it. You know what I'm
A
saying?
lot,
It's
a
like
lot of
you,
people don't get that it's an institution. A school's an institution,
yeah,
right? Like you
fact.
got to understand that. So it prepares you to follow orders, right? A lot
Mm-hmm.
of people be like, "Oh, that's too deep." Nah, a school is an institution, right?
Facts.
It prepares you to follow orders. It doesn't, again, like you said, they not pushing a lot about credit, and they're not pushing a
Mm-mm.
lot about home ownership, and they not even sex education, right? Like that's something that we really need in our community. These kids is
Yeah.
out here doing things that at an earlier age just because of the things they see on TV and they're getting themselves involved in.
Facts.
We don't have a lot of sex education in our high schools like they should be. They're kind of
Mm-mm.
afraid to have those conversations. Even mental health, they don't talk about mental health enough in school. So
man.
that's where it comes in the community, though. Like that's where we truly, and I ain't gonna put it all on the church, because sometimes you get a lot of people, oh, that's where it should fall on the church and things of that nature.
Nah,
Churches have standards as well. You know, the church is
I
also
put
an
on the
institution.
parent.
So
I
yeah,
put on the
you
parent.
gotta, you gotta put it on the parents and understand that the village concept, right? It takes a
Yeah.
village to raise these kids. So as a
Mhm.
community, you can't just focus on your kids, even though it starts in the homes. But you have to be able to take that same information and that same knowledge. And if a kid hangs with your kids, you should be talking to them about that, right? That way,
Right.
those kids that are around your kid, even if they don't want to hear it, they well rounded, right? And you
Mhm.
know, at least you're when they're around you, you're putting something into them somebody else may not, right? And that's good
Right.
information and good knowledge. And if they're gonna be around your kids, that's what you want them to have as well.
Facts. Cause I know for a fact, like, you know what I'm saying, some kids don't know about certain stuff just cause their parents ain't got time. You know what I'm saying? And for real, that's another thing. Everything is just time. Everything takes time, man. Learning, you know what I mean, it takes time. Teaching takes time. Like everything is time. And you gotta have patience. Like all that stuff come together, man. Like even talking to you right now, I'm just thinking about how all that come together. You know what I mean? Time, patience, knowledge, all that like come together. And like these kids, man, they our future, man. Like I listen to NBA YoungBoy. I listen to all the rappers that's out, Pooh Shiesty. I listen to all that, man. But the difference is, I know my reality ain't their reality. What they've been through, I ain't been through none of that. You know what I'm saying? When I was coming up, we listening to Lil Wayne. I think Lil Boosie came out 2006. We rapping them dudes lyrics like they rap their lyrics, but at the same time, like, hey, I don't live in Louisiana, so he ain't jumping like that. I got the, you know what I mean? And these kids, I don't say they get confused. It's just you see something so much you want to be it. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have nothing else to see. So when you see these things, you see these people, these rappers, they got these big chains on, this, that, and the third. You want that. You want to obtain that. So you want to do what they did to get there. And it's not even all about that, man. Like, man, we need more people like you out here, man. For real, for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? In your programs, we need to highlight them programs, push them. People in Salisbury, even people down here in Worcester County, man. Like, we need to push that. You know what I'm saying? Because what you doing in the community, I know everybody give you a round of applause, pat on the back, but man, like you be doing it, man. Like I call you the mayor of the Barry for a reason. Like, you know what I mean? I seen the
I
real
applaud
mayor.
people, man, because it's like it is. I would say that even though a lot of people don't know, it is a lot more people doing things in their communities, right? Like different
Hmm.
communities in the area, man. It's a lot more people who are doing things in their communities than it used to be, and I applaud that. No matter who you are, no matter who it may be for, there are people who are out here that are putting in work, and I get excited for that, man. I'm not as I'm not as vocal as I was at one point in time on social media outlets and things of that nature, man. But I will say, man, it doesn't go unnoticed. It's very, very nice to see people who go away, go to college, come back home, and bring programs with them. It's good to see people who stay around and they start different programs, whether it's sports, whether it's empowerment, whether it's mental health, no matter what it may be. It's good to see these people go and come back and start these different programs and these different seminars and these different for women, for men, for children, for whomever. It's
Right.
just it's good to see that the Eastern Shore does have people who are worried about their community, who don't mind making those sacrifices, because it's a lot of sacrifices that people make to try to do some of the
Hmm.
things they do, especially if they have a family themselves. But I will say that, man. Sometimes people be like, "Oh man, there's nothing around." Nah, you may just not have the information about what's around. You know what I mean? It's not
Right.
always that it's nothing around. It's just you may not be connected with the people that's moving and shaking, right? So sometimes you gotta change the circle up a little bit and find some people that's moving and shaking, or get with some like-minded individuals who are trying to do what you're doing or have done what you're trying to do, right? Like if you trying to start a business, get with somebody who's been running the business. That's very vital and important, right? Like so,
Yeah, man.
it's just important to put yourself in the right situations and talk to the right people and move from there. So I applaud everybody on the shore, man, that's doing their thing, because it is a lot of people out here doing some things.
And that's why we made OBN, man. Me and my gang, my boys, man, my fellas, we made OBN, which means Only Bosses Network. 'Cause if you want to be a boss, you got the network. Anything you want, you got the network. I can't have a party down here if I'm not networking to the whole Eastern Shore. I can't have my podcast and try to make it bump without trying to network with people and get that thing out there and find out how to do this and that. And that's something you do. Like you network with people. You know what I'm saying? There's kids way down here that was playing in Kids Rock. I mean, y'all probably had kids from anywhere playing in Kids Rock just for the fact they seen the talent, they seen how y'all the time y'all took with these kids, and they wanted to join that, they wanted to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? So with everything you got going on, man, like new and old, you know what I'm saying? Is there anything new you trying to accomplish, a new step you trying to get to? Is there anything you got in your mind that you got going on?
I still got some goals, man. You know, we did the basketball league last year during COVID. COVID slowed a lot down. You know, COVID
Yes,
slowed a
it
lot
did.
down. And then the passing of my nephew. My nephew passed like a year ago, and that kind of slowed me down as well. You know what I mean? It was
Right,
time. I
right.
really felt like it was time to take some time for me. You know, I've been giving back and doing things for other people for a very long time, and it
Mhm.
was just one of those things that happened in my life that kind of slowed me down and said, you know, it's time to worry about your own mental health as well. It's time to start
Right,
focusing on working on things in your life because, like you said, man, it's hard to pour from an empty cup, right? We need a refill
Mhm.
sometimes ourselves.
Facts.
So I took a little break, man, but you know, I've definitely done a few seminars. We had a Young Women with Dignity seminar not too long ago, and we've had the Prison and Gang seminar, which we want to do again. I've taken some breaks, but you know, I have a tremendous team. I can't say that enough. I have a team of people who have always been around, who help continue to do things when I even when I can't be there. You
Right,
know, and that's all across the shore. The team doesn't just rely in Salisbury, man. It's people in the Denton area, people in the Kent Island area, Kent County area, people in the Cambridge, Dorchester County area, just people all over who we inspire each other, man. Like you said, making that network and doing those different things has been vital. So I definitely have some future plans. You know, I won't really put it out
facts.
there yet. A lot of people want me to run for politics.
Hey, man.
That may or may not be in my future, man. Like
Right,
I don't know, man. Politics is a very tricky game. You know what I'm
facts. It
saying?
is.
And I say that because um, I personally have always said politics. It has the word lie in it. And
Mhm.
a lot of times people make promises that they may not be able to keep. So they seem like liars, right? Like they may
Right.
be pushing for something, but when you got multiple people who have to vote, you have to persuade multiple people to vote your way. That becomes
Mhm.
difficult at times as well, you know. But um, I don't know. I'm undecided
I'm
right now.
I'm gonna throw this out here though. That you said that as far as like it being in politics, like a councilman, anything like if you get in that system some type of way, you gonna make it shake because everybody gonna you know what I'm saying. They're gonna see what I got to do to make this pass or somebody asks you a question like, man, I want to do this. Well, we can't do it unless you do this. Like, all
Right.
right, well, teach us how to do that. You know what I'm saying? I think that'll probably open up the black community on even being involved in politics because they see somebody that's from around the way that's in it. You know what I'm saying? That's just something I'm gonna throw out there, keeping your
Oh no,
head.
no,
You
most
feel me?
definitely,
Like,
most definitely.
you
I
know what
think
I'm
we got
saying?
to we got to use those voices and those platforms, man. It's like it's vital. People don't understand. I see it all over, man. In smaller towns, like you said, African American people running for city council, town council, getting involved.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful thing. But like I said,
Facts.
it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work, and those people who have already gotten involved, they need the support of the people. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
you may not always think they're right, they're wrong, or they doing the things that you think they should be, but it's kind of hard when you're the outsider looking in, right? Like when
Right.
you're not at that table, when you're not at those meetings, when you're not doing the things that they're doing, it's kind of hard to make judgment or pass judgment, man, until you get involved. Because sometimes, like I said, it becomes very tricky. And you just got to know what you're doing and learn as you go. Like nobody has all the
Facts.
answers, right? Like you know, you only know what's best for your life, your family's life, and those people around you. So you got to try that. And as you continue to try that, man, you know, it persuades you to make different changes. So politics may be a thing. I'm really to keep it funky, man. I've said it for the past couple of years. I don't know how much longer I'll be coaching.
Right.
I'm at that. I've been doing this for a very long time. Like I said, I'm 37 now. I've been coaching since I was 17. So I kind of sort of got like 20 years in the coaching game, even
Yeah.
though I'm young. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts. Facts.
um, I really don't know. I really don't know, man. I pray about it every day, and I just allow the Creator to help push me down the path. And as doors open or as things happen, I'm just preparing myself for that. preparing
Man,
myself for
well, however it happen, however it fall, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be great. Cause I already know the type of nigga you is. You know what I mean? Type of person you is. I told
that.
myself I ain't gonna use the N word like that. So, but yeah, the type of person, the type of man you are. You know what I'm saying? And I know you gonna strive with whatever it is you got going on, or what you getting into. You know what I'm saying? So another one of my sponsors get his new power washer. The man D Harris, and then I got Accurate Clean Exterior Services. My boy G been hitting y'all too. Y'all better hit G up, man, cause that boy be moving, man. Also, always stay good apparel, stay good to yourself, stay good to the situation. Regardless, we stay good. You know what I mean? That's all it's about. You know what I mean? Guys, shout out my sponsors, man, cause
Oh yeah,
they look out for my boy. You know what I
yeah,
mean? They
most
keep me
most
fresh
definitely,
with
man.
the teas and all that. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? If that was, if it's nothing else you want to speak on, or if you got something on your brain, you know what I mean?
Nah, I would just two things, man, before we get out of here, man. One is support small businesses. You know what I mean? I'm not even
Mm-hmm.
just gonna say, especially businesses of people who look like you. Put your money
Right.
in the pocket of people who are caring, concerning, who support your community, who give back. It's very vital that you support small businesses so that those small businesses can give back to your community. And
Mm-hmm.
then, last but not least, man, get active, get involved. It doesn't always have to be sports. It doesn't always have to be um, politics. It doesn't always have to be business. If you see a need in your community, it's vital that you get with some people. Y'all sit down, y'all brainstorm, and put some things together, man. The only way that we are going to continue to be better as a people is if we push the narrative to our children, who are our future, and we continue to grow and support one another. So it's very vital and important that we do that. And I truly believe, circulating that dollar, man. Like you said, we don't have those conversations enough, but you got to circulate those dollars in your community. A lot of times
Mm-hmm.
we get money and that money leaves our community, or we put money into other people's pockets who don't even like us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a believer in that. I'm a believer in supporting people who support you, supporting people who are truly going to give back, and understanding that nothing happens without action. Nothing happens
Right.
without action, man. The only way to truly make moves in your community or around yourself or even in your life is you have to be active and you have to make some things go. So that's all I would say, good brother.
You know what I mean? So again, I appreciate you for coming through, man, dropping them jewels. And a lot of game being said tonight. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hold you. Every interview I done had left me with some jewels, man. But this one I really enjoyed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, most of the people I done interviewed so far, I got some type of history with them. I met
Right.
them in some type of time. We done been around each other some type of time. And that's why I even reached out to get them on here, because when I think about the OG podcast offering game, I'm gonna think about people that was older than me that was giving me game when I was legit. So you know what I'm saying? You definitely one of them ones, man. And
That's
you know
what's
what I'm
up.
saying? We applaud you. We hope you keep going. Maybe, hopefully, like I said earlier, I seen the mayor of Salisbury at the Juneteenth event. I seen
Right.
him, buddy cool. Buddy seemed cool, you know what I'm saying? But we definitely need some flavor in these councilmen, younger councilmen. We need some flavor, man, in these politics and these systems, man. Cause I feel like that's the only way things gonna change, man. Uh, I don't know the exact story, man, but it was like a light skinned dude, or he was yellow, like real high light skinned. He infiltrated the KKK. He was in the meetings, and man, that's what we need, man. We need somebody that's gonna go in there and infiltrate, and they're gonna do what they do, and bring it back to the people, man. That's all it's about. But us as a people got to take that and really run with that information, use it for the good, man. Like it's yin and yang, man. We can say we can complain all we want, but until we join forces with somebody, we all got one head and we all one accord, shit gonna be the same boat, man. Like regardless, man. So again, I applaud you, man. I thank you for coming through, slide through, and I gotta get the open invitation, man. We're going to season 3. We're gonna be doing the round table. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm gonna let you know more about it, but it's when I'm gonna be sitting around with certain people. You feel me? We're gonna have that talk, and it's gonna be. I really feel like the conversation is gonna be more deeper than these interviews. You get what I'm
Right.
saying? Because when we there, it's like the interviews is for people to know y'all. The round table for people to really like. We getting down dirty. We talking about these. You know what I mean? These subjects we need to be talking about in these communities. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm extending my reach out right now. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I'm
When
I'm
that come
definitely
through.
down, man, because that's one of the biggest and key things as well, man. Is we got to learn how to get in the room, man, and have those tough conversations. You know, talk about the
Mm-hmm.
elephants in the room, man, without leaving angry. Right. A lot of
Facts.
times people can't have those tough conversations with the knowledge of agree to disagree. It's cool that you
Right.
feel that way. I don't have nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with you feeling that way. I don't know your life experiences,
Facts.
but you know, it doesn't have to. You don't have to leave in anger or be upset with each other after those tough conversations. So I'm definitely down for that, man. I love tough conversations. I love talking about the elephants in the room and
Yes,
trying to
sir.
build and learn new things. Like you know, it may
Yeah.
be something where I'm misinformed. I may not know, and somebody else can teach game and give some knowledge as well.
Y'all heard that. I got another one in for round table. It's coming season 3 round table, man. We're gonna be all the way up. But man, I thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all that stayed with us the whole time, came in and out, whatever, whatnot. Left a comment, man. I appreciate everything y'all be on. OG podcast. Y'all see I got the backdrop now. We ain't ghetto no more. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my babies for getting that for me, man. And I see y'all next Sunday. It's not gonna be part 2 yet because it's gonna be, I think, 4th of July weekend. So I'm gonna just do something for the 4th. Not even really celebrating the 4th because we done had our day on Juneteenth, you know what I'm saying? But I know a lot of y'all gonna be moving around, so I'm gonna have a little something for y'all. I might go live something. But other than that, man, I see y'all. Thanks for coming. You know what I mean? I see y'all next Sunday.
That's what it is, man. Peace.